Hello my peculiars and welcome back or welcome to my peculiar corner if you are new here. My name is Andy and here we are at yet another magical Friday encounter. I hope you had a nice week and you enjoyed my last week's video. Today we are going to continue our journey through Ology. Probably the next week this is what's going to be the main subject of my videos, the Ology books. I observed that you actually like these flip-throughs, so I'm very happy about that. And today we are going to go into the dark world of vampires with the Vampireology book. Now this book, it's in Romanian because this I acquired in the same time as the one about monsters. If you remember, that one was also in Romanian. If you didn't see that video, go and see it. I'm gonna link down in the description the links to all the other Ology books, so you can just go and see all the videos, all the Ology books. You can just choose from which one you're interested in to see what's inside the book. And yeah, this one is again another very nice book. As it is in Romanian, I'm gonna try and translate what I can for you and hope it's gonna make sense. But without further ado, let's crack on with the show. Here we are back from the Hogwarts library with the book itself. Now, as you can see again, we have the jewels, we have a very nice picture illustration here with a vampire and a lady that was bitten by a vampire. And here it says an encyclopedia of creatures of the dark, I would say. And again, it is written from a point of view of a journal, like a story. And yeah, let's see what we have inside. Okay, so again, the book starts with a letter, as we already know. You know, all the time we have in all the Ology books, when we open them, usually the first page, it's like full of little pop-ups, a lot of letters, some, how do you call them, the visit cards and so on. Here you can see I wrote on it that it's my property, and also the date when I bought this book. I got it on 29th of August. Here we have a letter from Maurice Foley, lawyer, London, 3rd of July 1920. Now I'm gonna try and yeah, it's quite a long letter and also it's in Romanian, but if you want to know more about the letter, let me know in the comments below and I'm going to translate it for you. Here it says that the book was written by Archibald Brooks, the Protector, in the 1900s, with supplementary notes from Joshua Craig. Here you can see some pictures. Here you can see the wild garlic or bear's garlic. As far as I know, it's also called bear's garlic. Here we have a picture with a Bible and some wild garlic, the bear's garlic, and that picture can be moved. And then you have another letter, then this letter can also be moved. And here we have a picture with the British Museum. Here, oh, it looked like it can be removed, but it can't. Here it's like a telegram. And then our story starts. Important information. Here we have some important information. Here we have an almond tree, actually. Here it says London, 12th of May 1920. Here we have what do the legends tell us about vampire. Vampires are sensitive to sunlight and fire. They can be destroyed through these two things, but also with with a stick through their hearts. If you put a stick into their heart, and then that it says here, is that false? And then we have some other facts about vampires. Besides the fact that they have hard to kill, vampires are very strong, very fast and athletic. Is this true? The reflection of a vampire, that it's thirsty for blood, doesn't appear in the mirror. Is this true? And then we have two other. Vampires need an invitation to be able to enter into a room or a house. Vampires can be kept at bay with holy water. Garlic and other plants, such as sweet almond, can be used as protection against vampire. Is this true? And then here we have the vampires are immortal, or are they living a longer period of life than we do? And then here, vampire have blood, have cold blood. They drink only blood and they don't eat anything. Is this true? So we have a lot of questions about vampires. Here we have a very nice, we have an article from the Times by Archibald Brooks, 1850-1920. Here we have a very, very beautiful illustration. And it says that throughout history, vampires used a lot of, well, how to say it, like faces that were adored but also feared in different cultures of the world. From left to right, we have Mananangal, Chiangshib, Lilith, Chupacabra, and Rakshasa. So you have an illustration of those. And here it explains about them. At the beginning of time. Here it talks a bit about the origins of vampires. Here we have a piece of the Sword of Angels. As you can see, it's very silver-like. This is the first piece of the Sword of Angels found by Saladin the Protector during half of the 12th century. Keep it with a lot of care. Here we have the fight between the Archangel Michael and the third. Here there are like three magical creatures, to be honest. It looks like a centaur and some fauna. And here we have the Sword of Angels, the full Sword of Angels. And I hope you are really able to actually see it. But yes, you are. Okay. Here we have the three ancestors, I would say, of the vampires. And we have Baal, Moloch, and then Belial. As you can see, they are kind of like demons' names. And these are those, actually. So they were not mythological creatures, but, you know, they were the three ancestors of vampires. Again, we are accustomed already. We have a map. Here we also have how the curse of vampires was spread around the world. Here again we have some letter. Here we have the legend. Here we have a chronology of the Moloch ancestors. And then we have also Belial, and then we also have Baal. So these are the chronology. And here it's how the curse of the vampires got spread. As you can see, we have yet again Ology series do not, you know, fail to impress us with their maps. Like, look at this beauty of a map. Very nicely done. Very accurately done, you know, and look at the illustrations on the side. I would say this is Eve with the apple, definitely. Here we have the Archangel, here we have the demons, and here we have 1660, and we have the snake. It's very beautifully done. Here we have the ritual of creation of a vampire. Here it says that first the vampire has to receive the, let's say, allowance from the old people, so I guess old vampires, and then the vampire can start with the search of the chosen one when it comes to who's gonna choose to make a vampire. After he gets the allowance from the elders, in the night of the white fire, he or she, the vampire, they have to feed from the, the chosen person. And then after the third feeding, then the person will become a vampire. This is kind of like for older people, so yeah, this is definitely not for kids. Here we have some letters. And here we also have the transformation of a human being to a vampire. And a picture with Venice. It says, "My last memory from Venice." This we have a ghoul and a zombie. And here we have the love relationships with vampires have to be avoided with any price. Here we have the powers of vampires, the mind control, and here it explains like the 5 stages of mind control. Here we have the how fast a vampire is, olfactorum. And olfactorum is the sense of smell, and it's 10,000 times or thousands of times stronger than the human one. Here we have famous history figures and their powers. We have Bathory, Rasputin, Attila the Hun, and Achilles. It's nice how they took, famous history figures and they put them as like vampires. Here we also have the power of metamorphosis, which means that the vampire's metamorphosis when someone can just transform into something else. Here we have 2 vampires taking the form of a dragon and then a griffon here. And here we have a specimen from the shredded skin of a dragon. And when you touch it, again, we are used with this kind of specimens from the Ology books. It even looks, and when you touch it, it feels like a dragon skin. Here we have vampires and bats. The practice of metamorphosis, the pleasure of flying, hunting. Here we have some more letters. And here we also have 2 vampires metamorphosed into a snow leopard and a jaguar. And they just fight for the right of their food, basically, of their prey. So who's gonna get the prey? Here we have a vulture. Here we have a vampire that transformed into like a big amount of spiders. Here it explains to you how to recognize a vampire, or, well, you might become unalived. Here we have some tickets, very nicely done. These are like coupons to buy sugar. Here again we have letters. This book has a lot of letters, that I can tell you. And here we have like how to recognize, like through mirrors, corporal functions, how they speak and how they dress, plants, the reaction of animals to vampires, the lust, the appetite for blood, the beliefs. Here we have some nice illustrations. And here you need to identify who the vampire is. Here, protect yourself, always protect yourself. Here it says use the daylight, holy artifacts, as we know already, the cross and holy water and so on. Plants, and here we have chives, aniseeds, aloe vera, iris. And here we have the hair hair from a vampire, and it's like ginger-ish. Very nicely done. And it's kept into a little locket made out of silver. Vampires don't like silver. Yeah, here as you can see is the cross. We have some more letters. How to destroy a vampire. Here we have some fire weapons, swords, other weapons, fire, wooden sticks. And here we have, if you destroy a valuable object like a pearl necklace, it can give you enough time to get a proper weapon and destroy the vampire. Here it's a specimen of pearls, and if you don't have them, you know, if you don't have a necklace of pearls at hand, then you can just take these pearls from your book and just throw them on the floor and, you know, pray that they are gonna help you get a proper weapon. This is how to destroy a vampire. Here we have Moloch, Baal and Belial, how to destroy each of them. Here we have another depiction. Then we have vampire hunters. Here it's like some of the protectors. Here we have also an illustration of white mustard. Here we have a short article about werewolves. Another letter. Here we have a legend. And something about Franz Liszt. The real Dracula. Here we have a picture of Vlad Tepes or Vlad Dracul. I can tell you for sure that his castle doesn't look like this because I'm from Romania. I've been there a couple of times, so that's not really accurate, but it's a nice depiction, of course. But yeah, here this is accurate, like that. He looked like that in all the portraits we have. That's how probably you know how Vlad Tepes looks like. Here we have vampires throughout history. We have Aligula, Caesar Borgia, Christopher Marlowe, Richard III, Marie Laveau, apparently, of course, Jack, Napoleon, all the vampires. We already had them mentioned. And then here we have the genealogical tree of vampires with each ancestor and how it went all the way to, well, not necessarily present, but yeah, you see a lot of names, like famous names from history, like the most important and most significant history names, I would say, including, as I said, Jack the Ripper or Marie Laveau and so on. And here it's also an article about how vampires are living between us, and we don't even know. We have vampire in literature, the flower sellers of Piccadilly, something about music. Here we also have like a 3D picture. I'm not sure if for you it's gonna be visible. Maybe. I hope so. It's moving, like it's very nice. Here we have vampires in war, vampires at the London Tube. A beautiful illustration of, is this? I think this is Piccadilly, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it looks like Piccadilly. And here we have last words of the author. Here we also have some more letters, and as we are already accustomed with all the Ology books, at the end, on the last page, we have something beautiful and more like a big artifact or something. And here we have a silver sword, and again beautiful. We have a gem here, gold foil, silver foil, very nicely done. You cannot remove it, of course, but it's a very nice touch to the book. And at the end, we have, this is a book of the fallen ones, the ones that drink blood, or vampires, who live between us from the beginning of time. It's not about folklore or fantasy. It is the nightmare from which humanity needs to wake up. The real story of the creatures of the dark. It was written by the Protector in the 1900s. Now, as you can see, it was released by Egmont in Romania. Yeah. So here we have it, the Book of Vampires, or in English it's Vampireology. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you managed to understand everything I tried to translate for you. I am rather good at translation, but of course first I need to read, so if you heard any like pauses and any silence during the video, that's why it was, because I wanted to read and then translate for you. Sometimes I'm able to translate as I read in another language straight into English, but you know, it's quite early in the morning, so I'm still trying to wake up. Yeah, unfortunately, as you can see again, here it got a bit damaged, the book, but you know, it adds up to the, it's like, it feels like an older book. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed today's book. We still have quite a lot of Ology books to go through, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, so you can help a bit grow my account. Click the notification bell so you can always stay up to date with my content. I am planning to do a Q&A session very soon, because I'm very curious to see what you would like to know about me. And until next week, don't forget two very important things. Stay magical, stay peculiar, always. Bye for now.